I hope no one noticed. The smile on my face that faltered for just a moment. Cause I spent a lot of time trying to stay focused on making sure that my expressions are frozen. Don't ever let your guard down. Your secrets are yours. What happens if others know them? What happens if they see a crack in the wall and start to guess your emotion? You'd almost had everyone convinced that you were emotionless, but they'll never know about all the mornings you wake up covered in brokenness. You're soaked in it. Feels a lot like sweat. So you dry the sweat off, but you still feel wet. And this is all before you even got out of bed, so when your feet touch the floor, it's like the walking dead just wandering around, don't know where you're walking next. And you can start to guess, but that's a lot of pressure when you're hardly dressed. Just thinking about all the people you'll go so far to impress, hoping that eventually the whole world would just give you their stamp of approval. So you can start worrying about whether today is crucial to proving that your actions aren't futile and everybody around you realizes you're useful. And then you find yourself in front of the mirror. You get any nearer, you might just throw your hoodie up, the one that covers the worst of your hair. Don't let anyone see any flaws or understand that you're scared. How many times have you left the house just asking to be embarrassed, acne on faces, oh God, the braces. The appearance may have changed since then, but the shame ain't shaken. You got a SportsCenter level highlight reel constantly playing mistakes, and every morning you're reminded of the past and have to face it. When you throw in your kicks, make sure to hide the laces, cause anything out of order could lead to an opinion's misplacement. Dress nice enough so they can't tell you're still in your mama's basement. If you learn to fake it, they'll never know how bad you feel like you gotta make it. How many times can you go back to basics? When will it be before you act your age? And how long do you get before your talent's wasted? Nothing moves slower than our own progress. So it's probably best that we're constantly checking up on how everyone else feels blessed, right? Every scroll restarts you at the beginning of the marathon of comparison, and you've been running for years, so it's pretty dang exhausting for you to have to go back to the start each time you pick up your phone and wonder why you dared to run. I mean, you've never even seen the finish line, so who's to say anymore it's the dream of Americans? You're so mentally tired, you'll just settle for sprinting in front of a few of the handicapped and stand there in arrogance. Keep in mind, during this time, you're carrying the stress of the whole world's judgment before even one person has seen you. You're in a perpetual deadlift of past you, present you, future you, but mostly teen you, not letting go of the things that demean you, and it becomes real easy to wonder if you even believe in you. You've let yourself down so many times, possibly the best thing you've done is write a few rhymes, so who's to say that you're gonna be fine? Oh look, it's 8 a.m. Can I fight today or should I just stay in? It's a constant choice that carries guilt, from a haunted voice that's scary still, saying you're a fraud. Why don't you cling to the faith that got you here? Why give in to fear? Why not just trust that everything will be clear? Maybe you should pray more or just move on with your day more. Why don't you live out the things that you say more? Close your eyes. Your vision's blurry from looking at the screen. Welcome all to my morning routine. This all feels so hopeless. Until it isn't. Until those small moments when there's finally vision. Until those few minutes when you're finally driven. When you breathe the fresh air like you just escaped prison. When you feel joy and laugh like it's your life's mission. When you start running as if there's actually a ribbon. When you remember that the sun is still risen and that there's still a chance that you might be forgiven. This is what keeps you going. The knowledge that the things you cry out for in your darkest hour are real. And the brief opportunity to grasp them and understand that there is power somewhere out there to heal, even though sometimes it would seem far easier to never feel. Those moments make it all worth it. Those tokens of freedom from the world and its serpent. So soak in the warmth of true light breaking through hurt and know that the goal was never for perfect. You may have doubt, but you're not alone in determining verdict. Depression is real, but so is hope. Every morning there's a lifeline thrown out like a rope, and it's my job to grab it. Some days it's massive and easy to grasp it. Others I'll miss it or just walk right past it. But I've grown to look for that hope like an addict, like an inhaler to an asthmatic who's struggling to breathe. It's something I desperately need, whether I always want it or not. The good news is, there's only been one thing that's ever been more constant to me than the struggle. That's the hope. Any day, anytime I can look up and see it, always just low enough for me to reach it. In fact, I'm hanging on right now. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be here. So let's be clear. For those who tend to feel lost like I do, don't give up. Just look for your hope. It may be weathered and frayed, but it's tethered to save. So I promise, no matter what else you do, you hang on to that. It'll carry you home.